Turner syndrome is a condition that's congenital. That means children are born with it. It occurs actually quite frequently. 1 in 2,500 live female births are affected by Turner syndrome. The most ideal time to treat children with Turner syndrome is as early as possible. There are many of us who treat girls with Turner syndrome at birth, but unfortunately the age of referral to pediatric endocrinologists for treatment for short stature remains disappointingly late, age 9, 10, and 11, when much less can be accomplished.
Sarah, you're the one person that's not wearing.
My name is Sarah Kramer. I have Turner syndrome and I'm 16 years old now. I love to read, I love to write, and I love animals. Playing with my dog and my cats and any horses I love. I like to hang out with my family. We play cars and swim in the pool, do stuff like that. And I love to act too. I go to performing arts school. I'm a junior there now.
Sarah was diagnosed initially when I was in my about 7th month. There was a blood test and it came back abnormal, and so they did an amnio, and then the amnio came back abnormal. And I received a phone call from a doctor who called me just at 3 o'clock when other kids were coming home from school and said, "I've got some news to tell you," and then just read a list of problems that she might have and told me she was a Turner child.
Turner syndrome means that one of the 2 X chromosomes, and each girl is supposed to have 2 full chromosomes, is missing either a whole or a part of one of those X chromosomes. The result and the consequence of missing a part or all of one of the X chromosomes results in a number of different manifestations. For example, first and foremost, short stature. Secondly, infertility, a lack of going through puberty. So children remain short, but they'll also miss that growth spurt. There may be effect on the heart valve, in particular the aortic valve. Children with Turner syndrome are also at risk for developing kidney disease or being born with a congenital kidney abnormality. If a child with Turner syndrome is diagnosed in a timely fashion, there are many things that are positive that can come out of that. Firstly, they'll reach a final adult height that is above 4'8", which is what they're destined to be. And many of us would be happy if we can get a girl with Turner syndrome to be above 5 feet. We can anticipate some of the issues that'll occur around puberty and the development of secondary sexual characteristics. We can facilitate conversation about infertility and a lack of periods. We can ensure that these children are screened for nonverbal learning disabilities, have their hearing addressed, their orthodontic issues, and their eyes addressed, because sometimes poor vision can be associated with Turner syndrome. The importance of screening children with Turner syndrome goes beyond the treatment of short stature and takes into account all of the other manifestations that girls with Turner syndrome have.
Some of the treatments that I did, I would go down to Chapel Hill, UNC, every year, and they would draw blood, and they would basically give me a checkup. They would measure my arms, measure my legs, circumference of my head, just different things like that. Check my ears and do a basic checkup, and I would get growth hormones every night. Since I was 3 now, I would give myself a shot, or my parents would give me a shot either in my leg or my arm or my stomach. And they were tiny needles, so they didn't hurt too much.
As far as a daily treatment now, she doesn't have growth hormone shots. She just ended those. She got permission to end those about 5 months ago, and she jumped for joy.
Physically, there are a few different things that make me a Turner girl that are common. As a girl, I don't produce a lot of estrogen. So to help boost that, my doctors have given me an estrogen patch to wear to, make my estrogen levels normal. And I have large hands. My hands are pretty big for a 16-year-old girl, and I have larger feet than my mom. Those are just some Turner Turner things, and also I have thyroid. I have Hashimoto's disease, which means my thyroid is slow, so I need to take medication for that.
The purpose of early diagnosis is so important, and my heart goes out to people that don't know, because from early on, when she started having hearing problems or ear infections, they didn't say, oh, well, she'll grow out of this, or they said, she has Turner syndrome, we're going to take care of this.
Turner syndrome is very easily screened for today. Through a routine chromosomal analysis, one can detect a piece or all of an X chromosome that's missing. But to make it even easier, there are now new techniques, including taking a swab of the inside of the mouth surface that can demonstrate whether or not a piece of the X chromosome or all of the X chromosome is missing. Further, with amniocentesis becoming relatively routine, those kinds of changes in the chromosome material can also be identified. There is so much literature that would suggest that the earlier we treat children with Turner syndrome, the better is the outcome. The longer we treat and the more aggressive we treat, the better is the outcome. Girls with Turner syndrome are delightful, huggable, loving, brilliant performers, doctors, nurses, attorneys. They are people who accomplish everything in the world.
Like, if I could go back and say no, if I could change if I had Turner syndrome or not, I wouldn't change it, because part of me is I'm a Turner girl. My life is precious, and it helps me realize that who I am is somebody special and that I'm here for a reason. And I wouldn't change that, having that knowledge, because it makes me know that I'm here for a reason and that I have something awesome to do.